You know, in industrial robotics for like large, heavy manufacturing applications, the machines are getting bigger, faster, and more capable all the time. I'm with Ed Moritz, he's sales director for ABB Robotics. And Ed, when we think of monstrous machines like this, we think of multi-axis capability, but you've got axes like we've never seen before. Tell me about it.
Hi Jim, it's great to meet you today. Yes, what I'd like to show you is we have two robots put together. We have an IRB 660 and an IRB 140. And we put the robots together to give 12 axes to move around all kinds of products to weld them. So what we have is this demonstration here with the welder on it that shows to do that. And this is applicable for large heavy equipment welding like buckets on the end of front end loaders or in car manufacturing and large heavy equipment. So it gives us another application for customers that they can use in those kind of welding applications.
Now, Ed, frequently I've seen a tendency now for say machinery fabricators. They want to replace large heavy castings with weldments. They also sometimes want to skeletonize the plate. They want to cut holes, lightning holes in the thing. Right. And it's very hard even with the positioner to reach inside sometimes and get around behind and weld the thing. So I'm thinking a needed application here for something like that. Locomotive, railroad work?
Right, Jim, you're exactly right. I mean, the customers like building front-end loaders, locomotive, as well as heavy machinery in the agricultural markets. So those are great applications, and it gives, like I said, the customer another chance to remove the hazardous applications of workers in those kinds of environments and put a robot in and do it.
And in this case, we have two robots built into one in a sense. Are they controlled separately with separate controllers, or are they controlled as one?
They're controlled as one controller. So that's an aspect that ABB provides. And in some cases, we have where we can run four robots together on one controller. It's called multi-move. And so in this case, we have two robots. It's the IRB 140 at the base of it, and the IRB 660 at the main frame of it. So.
Now, Ed, the equipment is getting more and more sophisticated as time goes by in manufacturing. The ability to find skilled people to actually operate the work on the plant floor is getting tougher and tougher. So can you comment in this case from a control perspective at this point? How do you make it simple? How can you get the people you have now up to speed and get them working with sophisticated machines like this?
Right, well in this case, once you know how to run the robot, it would be the same for adding the two robots together. And right here we have next to us a teach bennett, and this is how you actually operate the robot, as well as the controllers that are in the base of the robot. So it's the same application, same knowledge that the person has to use as a technician to run the product. So in that case, it's a good.
So if you're an existing robotics technician and you're already used to working with a conventional, say 4 or 5 axis machine, that knowledge will translate?
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you can run one of the robots, you can run them all.
And what sort of payload, what sort of tooling could you put on the end of the?
So the payload on this is basically it's just for the welding application. So in this case, you're not actually material handling; you're just handling the welder. So the payload is what the 140 robot can handle on it, and typically in the 3 to 5 kilogram range.
Would it be strictly for welding? Do you envision other possible end effector applications, grippers?
Yeah, other customers could probably use other applications with it. We haven't encountered those yet, but they could try to do that. Yeah.
In this case, you got a wire feeder attached to this for sort of a MIG application in a sense. Could you electrical spot welding possible? Could you think about
potentially, we do have another spot welding application over there. It would have to be dependent on the load of the spot welder that goes on it. But yes, that could be another application.
And how about positioning accuracy? It's welding's non-trivial. You got to get the wire really into the joint.
Yeah, that's a good question, Jim. The positioning is very important in welding, and that's where ABB excels. The path performance of our product is very superior. So.
In terms of the control, now teach bennett, of course, the classic way that you program a robot there. But now we're talking about industrial Internet of Things. You want to wire the factory. You want to connect these things remotely at that point. Is that a place you can go with an ABB product? Can we connect it?
Yeah, there's two ways to do it. One, you can do it through Robot Studio, which is our offline programming. It's a world-class program that basically we can do all the programming offline, load that into the robot, and that's the actual code that goes into the robot. You could do it remotely with the robot or do it with the robot in your same room. So that's a great tool that customers use all the time.
Got a tough to reach part? Well, you have 12 axes of motion from this ABB robot, says Ed Moritz.